Hello, my friends. I thought I'd share with you today what I'm writing in my Commonplace book. This is my Commonplace book, and you can see I've been writing in it. Actually, I've been writing in a Commonplace book since I was a schoolboy, and that's a long time ago. My very first Commonplace book I've still got, and I'll show it to you now. Here it is. It's falling to pieces, unfortunately. The very first page of it says, "This is the Commonplace Book of Christopher Charles Byrne, started in the year of our Lord 1958. That's a long time ago now, but it's a wonderful record to me these days of the poems I used to like, the poems I like now. The very first poem I ever wrote in here is by William Shakespeare, and it's still one of my all-time favorites. It's his poem Sylvia, and it goes like this. Who is Sylvia? What is she, that all the swains commend her? Wholly fair and wise is she, the heavens such grace did lend her, that she might admired be. Is she wise as she is fair? For beauty lives with kindness. Love doth to her eyes repair, to help him of his blindness, and being helped, inhabits there. I think that's absolutely beautiful. The first time I ever read it, I thought so, and I still think so today. Well, right now I'm in the middle of writing quite a different sort of poem, but strangely, it was written only a little while before Shakespeare himself was born. But this poem was written by a Maltese nobleman who died in the year 1485. Of course, in the year 1485 in England, the Wars of the Roses were coming to a bloody conclusion with the Battle of Bosworth Field, where Richard III of York was defeated by the soon-to-be King Henry VII of Lancaster and England, father of Henry VIII, the king we all hate. This poem, this Maltese poem, was found quite recently in the year, I think, 1968. And I really am interested because at that time I was living in Malta myself. I was there for 4 years or more, leaving in 1972. And I have a great fondness for the island and the people and the language. The language is quite astonishing, different from any other language in the world. Malta, as you know, is at the crossroads of the Mediterranean, and the language shows how many people went through that crossroads. It's a mixture of very ancient Aramaic, sort of the language Jesus Christ was supposed to have spoken, Arabic, ancient Carthaginian. The city of Carthage once stood just across the sea in North Africa from Malta. There's also bits of Latin, Greek, probably ancient Egyptian, and more recent Italian, French, and English. It's a wonderful language and a wonderful literature as well. And this poem was found by a scholar in the ancient city of Mdina, which is the old ancient capital of Malta, right in the middle of the island. And it's an absolute gem to visit even today. And it was in the archive that a person was going through, and they found this poem nobody had found before. It's written by a gentleman called Pietro Casciaro. I think it's very, very nice, very insightful. It's kind of written as a metaphor. He talks about his house falling down and him being fallen at the bottom of a well. But it's, I think, a sort of allegory for his own life. And he built his life on bad foundations and that sort of thing. I'm going to read it. It's an English translation, but it's a good translation. Here we are. A recital of my misfortunes, O my neighbours, the following I shall tell you, such as has not been found either in the past or in your lifetime. An ungoverned, kingless, and lordless heart has thrown me into a deep well without a way out, into which, desiring death by drowning, I descend by the steps of my own downfall, rising and falling always in the deep water. My house has fallen down. I have long been a building. The workmen were not to blame, but it was the loose clay that gave way. I found loose clay where I had hoped to find rock. My house, it has fallen down. My house, it has pushed down its foundations. The workmen were not to blame, but the rock gave way. I found loose clay where I had hoped to find rock. The house I had long been a building has collapsed, and that's how my house fell down. Build it up again, change it for the place that harms it. It goes on after that for a while, but you get the idea. It's a lovely poem, and I'm glad to have it in my Commonplace book. I think, as you know, I wrote this book, Poetry Changes Lives, because poetry has become my passion. It changed my life, and I'll tell you how, because poetry has this power to change the way we feel, to change our moods. And when our moods change, when our feelings change, then our thoughts change. It's kind of inevitable. If you start feeling it bad and negative, and then you suddenly change, you read a nice bit of poetry and it cheers you up, your thoughts start improving. You start thinking, oh, well, maybe the end of the world isn't coming today, and that sort of thing. And once your thoughts change, your behavior changes as well. All three, thoughts, feelings, and behavior, are closely interconnected, and poetry can change the way we feel. Just try it on yourself. Try reading something like Henley's Invictus, that wonderful poem that starts, out of the night that covers me black as the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul, and see if that doesn't cheer you up. Cheered up Nelson Mandela, no end. He spent 28 years in prison. When he came out, he said that poem was the only thing that kept him going. So you should try it. What I'm leading up to is that this book is a great book to have. It's a daily poem, a daily event in history, and a thought for the day. So it's a book you can turn to every day of the year. It's a paperback. It's also in hardcover here. And I think that would make a really good Christmas present for anyone. There it is, the inside on cream pages, beautifully laid out, each page a different day. If you can't think of anything to give somebody for Christmas, you could do a lot worse than that. It's on Amazon, Poetry Changes Lives, or the website, poetrychangeslives.com. And while you're buying that, you could buy the Commonplace book as well. There's one, it comes in various covers. See, there's a matching cover, or there's the classic cover, which is the one I'm using, or there's actually one with a bee, a sort of honeycomb on the front, a sort of metaphor for store of knowledge. And then there's a nice flowery one, perhaps for the younger generation. Commonplace books are such great things to have. They can live with you all your life, like mine did. So I'm just giving you a few ideas for Christmas presents, really. You should be jolly grateful. And I wanted to share my Commonplace book with you too. I'm going to go on writing it now. Thank you for putting up with me. Talk to you soon.